the alleged weapon right there on the left-hand side of your screen. Also cycling through some of the other different images and essentially statements that we're getting. Amy Klobuchar there, Senator, is saying there has been another shooting.
Welcome in, folks. Welcome in.
Agents in Minneapolis, and I am working to get more information. I will update as soon as possible to the Trump administration and the
right now. We have some major breaking news here in Minneapolis.
And what I want to do,
breaking news here. I'm trying to get information that's coming in rapidly. ABC, welcome in. Here we go. Listen in and we'll discuss. It's happening so quick, guys. I haven't even had a chance. Right now, this is live. We have had another shooting. This time, we don't know the person's status. I've heard some sources that he's deceased. I've heard others are trying to do CPR. This happened 30 minutes ago. Let's listen in. I'm just getting going here, guys. This tear gas gone. The President of the United States, President Trump, I believe, has spoken to Tim Walz. I'll tell you what I know so far. You can read this, and then we'll discuss. Welcome in all. Welcome in, moderator Janine. Thank you. Hello. Come on in, guys. This is live as we speak. Bill Lucci. This is happening live, guys. It's very cold in Minneapolis. And once again, we have an ICE agent involved shooting. I just don't know much more than that. But I do know I'm trying to get reports from a representative and a friend who lives in Minneapolis to see what they can tell us. Fox shooting involving federal officer in Minneapolis. This is breaking news, guys. This is not the Renee Good situation. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning, moderators Janine and Crystal. We're going to listen in here, and then we're going to talk, and I'm going to look at my messages and see if I can get any information. As the gas deployed protest, ladies and gentlemen, we are in some serious trouble right now. I've just told there's been a shooting now in Chicago and another one. Folks, what is going on this Saturday as President Trump 20 minutes ago has finally spoken to Governor Tim Walz. Yeah, there's multiple shootings here. An ICE agent. I don't know. We don't know his status, folks. Yeah. We don't know the status of the individual. I don't know if it's a male or a female either. I'm trying to get the best feeds I can, guys. I've gotten a couple apps that I went ahead and
and of course, if you are just joining us here,
I got multiple apps, guys. I'm gonna do the best I can, and that's not me shaking the camera for those. This is the best I can possibly do to give you guys this information. Hold on.
I know that there was going to be a news conference that was scheduled with Commander of Border Patrol. That is Greg Bavino. That was set
okay, that's Fox.
12 p.m. Eastern time. However, at this point, it looks like that has been moved over to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Going to lift up the audio once again so we can listen in live as all of this.
I'm gonna let you guys listen, and I'm gonna read here.
Law enforcement in Minneapolis. You can see it right there on your screen.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody on this Saturday. We've had breaking news. I can confirm real quick, guys. There's been a shooting of a federal agent between a federal agent and a suspect who was armed and dangerous. Guys, welcome in. This is a federal agent. All I can tell you right now, real quick, is there's been shootings. Now, my sources are telling me right now we have a shooting right now involving a police officer in New York. There's one in LA. I can't confirm if they're all related. How I can tell you right now, we've had one incident, man down, don't know his age, not a woman. CPR trying to get him to respond. The suspect was armed with a carry-on weapon of some kind. Happened about an hour ago this morning, early this afternoon, this morning here in Las Vegas, as we got this nasty weather happening all through the nation. I can tell you this, that Donald Trump has talked to Governor Tim Walz.
All right, and we are just learning here.
Both of them had to exchange a conversation. Obvious Tim Walz wants this ice removed.
They are going to hold a news conference.
News conference is coming up. We're going to stay live for a while and cover this.
Again, they're going to be reacting to this situation that is now taking place here. We are also expecting that we'll see Greg Bavino with the Border Patrol. He is the commander there. He should be speaking at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That was originally set to start in just about 10 minutes, but it appears that has been pushed back to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is when we were slated to speak with him over Zoom, but DAS is being deployed.
Thank you all for being here. Once again, nothing surprising me anymore. You always got to be ready for these lives. I was pretty much ready to go live this afternoon on a topic that I wanted to cover with Iran, and now this is happening. So we're going to have to postpone that live, and we'll probably be covering this off and on. Hopefully we'll get some information. I hate to voice my opinion because I don't know. All I can tell you is that the suspect had a carry-on. It was armed and dangerous. I can't tell you if he or it was illegal or not. All we can tell you is the person's down. We don't know if he's alive, stable, critical. I'm sure he's been transported to the hospital. And it involved a federal ICE agent. Now, the reports I heard in New York City was not accurate. It was a shooting, but nothing to do with ICE. And I believe that person is stable, but had nothing to do. Anyhow, right back to this. Back to Minneapolis. And once again, viewers' discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised. You're going to hear some bad language, some different signs you might not agree with. Everybody respect each other as much as you can, and here we go. I believe this was the area that the shooting happened. I would assume so, right? Because they're all here, but I'm not even 100% sure. I'm trying to get my scanner going, guys. If you don't hear me talk, I'm trying to get my police scanner to see if we can get any more details. I'm trying to get the streets. I'm trying to get different feeds. I wasn't trying to get all my equipment ready as this is breaking, guys. So bear with me the best you can. This is not me shaking the camera. You know, this is the news. They're doing the best they can. It's very cold there. It's like 0 degrees temperatures there. 0 degrees. So, you know, the camera people are doing the best they can as well. Once again, for the viewers that are coming in, my name is Sal. Welcome in, welcome in. We had an involved shooting with a federal officer in Minneapolis. President Donald Trump has spoke briefly with Governor Tim Walz. Tim Walz pretty much stated that he has enough. He wants them out of Minneapolis. He believes it's leading to more possible deaths. We know about Renee Good's death. May she rest in peace. But now we've had a couple other shootings since Renee Good, with the Venezuela. So Tim Walz is pretty much disgusted. Once again, you hear the language in the background. For YouTube, viewer discretion advised. For the vulgar.
Again, if you are just tuning in here, you are taking a live look out of Minneapolis. We have several different cameras in this location here, as there are once again those confrontations taking place between the protesters and federal law enforcement after we learned from Bill Melugin over at Fox News that let me pop this up on your screen there. You'll see it on the left-hand side of your screen. He does say sources with the Department of Homeland Security say that a person armed with a gun was shot there by a Border Patrol agent. This happening just maybe an hour or two ago. We're, again, still learning all of the details coming in, but he did add that a person was reportedly, quote unquote, down, but there's been no update on that person's condition from any officials. Daily protests, no question, in Minneapolis have been taking place since earlier this month. On January 7th, we know that Renee Good was shot by an ICE officer and passed away from her injuries there. Again, no update on the person shot in this situation and how they are doing, but also 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Police Chief Brian O'Hara will be speaking about all of this and the latest developments. And then about 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're told Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino will speak on the shooting as well. He was slated to hold a news conference here in just about 5 minutes, but that has been pushed back as a result of all of this. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz saying that he is now in touch with the White House as all of this is kind of playing out there. But what I want to do is lift the audio back up at this hour as we continue to gather more information.
Okay, real quickly, guys. The viewers that are coming in, thank you so much. I want to bring everybody up to date as quick as possible. I don't have a whole lot of information. We heard briefly there from Fox Associates. There was another involved shooting with a federal agent approximately an hour ago in very cold temperatures in Minneapolis. President Trump has spoken to Tim Walz regarding this person who was shot. We cannot confirm the status. We believe the person was down for a while. There was CPR, I heard, done, as this is new. This is not recorded. This is not the Renee Good. This is live, folks. Live. I know it's upsetting. And in between of all this, there's been other reports of shooting in other states that I can now confirm are not related to the riots or agitators, whatever you wish to call them. And I will step aside here, let you listen in. This is live. We will be covering, folks, the press conference. Make sure you have all your notifications on if you have to step in and out of today's live. We will be live until we get further information. Make sure you have all notifications set for this live and future lives. I have a topic today that you don't want to miss. So you want to set it up later on. I just don't know when time, but later on this evening. And we're going to have a special guest. Look at this. And once again, for the language, warning, vulgar language can appear. So viewer discretion is advised. If you have small children, you can do what you want, but you've been warned. You have been warned. You heard my voice. Let me just show you. Guys, viewer discretion is advised. So I've warned everybody. If you have little kids, you might not want them to hear it. Thank you. Try to get different feeds for you guys. I'm trying to get as best feeds I can. And I'm sorry for the camera. This is not my camera. I know a lot of you guys might be getting dizzy, but I am, trying to do the best I can. So is the reporters. We're doing the best we can here. There is absolutely nothing I can do. Nothing. So, absolutely nothing I can do for the cameras. I can bring it in a little bit, maybe. I don't know. While they get theirs straightened out, I'm sure they will. We'll come down here. What's happening, folks, is the cameraman there, I believe it's an independent journalist that is there, he or she. God bless them. First of all, I hope they're safe. And I believe the tear gas has gotten in their eyes. So imagine, they're independent journalists, and the tear gas has gotten in their eyes. So their tripod, their phone is all over the place. But if you're just coming in, whoa, there's, speaking of tear gas. Oh man, craziness. Now I have problems with my. What the hell I just. I'm trying to give you guys different feeds. If you're just coming in, welcome in all. This is live, folks. Just different feeds I'm bringing in. Thank you, moderators, for being here today. Appreciate Janine and Crystal. We have an ongoing involving shooting. This is a new shooting, unfortunately, in Minneapolis. Viewer discretion is advised as far as the language, involving a federal ICE agent.
Again, there are some live images that are coming in. These are raw cameras from Fox 9 Minneapolis,
Fox
as well
9.
as the Associated Press. So you can see they're kind of roving cameras at this point. You're getting a lot of the images of the tear gas that is being deployed, as well as the protesters there who are chanting. I do want to remind you that there are going to be some expletives there. There are vulgar language and signs. That's all going to be in front of you there.
Exactly.
That's what we do here on Live Now from Fox. We bring you those raw feeds as they come into the newsroom. And as you can see there,
thank you, Fox. Shout out to Fox.
A large federal law enforcement presence after Fox News confirming that one person has been shot by a Border Patrol agent.
I do not fucking see you executed someone! You fucking executed! I don't have a small man! Every fucking night you put your head down here. That is you now. Fucking disgrace to law enforcement. Fucking disgrace.
All right, again, there is a lot of vulgar language there on your screen as the protesters, demonstrators there, and as the White House has called them, agitators, are chanting and screaming some of the profane words there at the federal agents. Now, if you are just joining us here at this hour, do want to call your attention to the left-hand side of your screen. That is where we have the information that we know so far, and it is...
This is breaking news. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not getting better, guys. It's not. It's going to get worse, unfortunately. Do we bring in the National Guards, folks, in the chat? Yes or no? Should we bring in and use the Resurrection Act now? Yes or no? Should we use the Insurrection Act now? What is the Insurrection Act? That Trump will take full control of Minneapolis before more people lose their lives. This is now live, folks, in Minneapolis. Welcome in, welcome in. Man shot by Federal Patrol. We don't know the status of that individual. We just know it's a man. We don't know if he's legal, illegal, but some man has been shot on Saturday. As we have nasty weather, freezing temperatures all over the nation, except for maybe Florida. And in Minneapolis, the temperature's got to be around 0. Very, very cold. This is live. Backing up, they're backing up. Backing up. It might be time, folks. Folks, it might be time for the Insurrection Act. Yes or no? Insurrection Act? National Guards? Uh-oh. 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 Hold on. The man shot by Border Patrol has died. He has lost his life. Folks, we could have a major problem here, folks. He has lost his life. We got to get more details. Folks, real quick, my name is Sal. It means a whole lot to the channel. Like and subscribe. We have an important podcast we're going to put out. Had a special guest this evening. We're going to probably postpone that. KMSP, man has been shot by Border Control, has now lost his life. Don't know the age. This happened about an hour ago in Minneapolis. Freezing temperatures. My deepest prayers and thoughts. We're trying to find out information. President Donald Trump has spoken to Tim Walz on the phone. On the phone, Tim Walz is saying, please, let's stop and remove the ICE agents. Everybody has different opinions on here. Everybody should have their different opinions, but we are now at pretty much a war with, the two parties. I mean, it's obvious, right? Because Trump is not moving out the ICE agents. This is a serious ongoing situation. I can confirm that man has lost his life.
All right, and you are hearing the background audio right there. This is a raw feed coming in from both KMSP, Fox News, as well as we have another one coming in from the Associated Press showing several different angles here. Again, I do want to remind you that viewer discretion is advised, as of course you're hearing some vulgar language and you are going to see it on some of the signs that are out there. I do want to let you know that we are hearing right now, confirmed by the Minnesota Star Tribune via the Minneapolis Police Chief, Brian O'Hara, that the person shot there by a federal officer has died from their injuries. Again, we don't know much about this person, but that is according to the Minneapolis Star Tribune and our partners over at Fox 9 Minneapolis reporting that as well. There is video circulating on social media of all of this unfolding. Now, we are, of course, working to independently confirm that is the case, but as of right now, we do know the man who was shot by a Border Patrol officer, according to Fox News. That was Bill Malugin who put out that information earlier, now confirming that that person has died as a result of their injuries. We know that we are expecting to hear from Mayor Fry coming up in just about, I would say, 23 minutes. And
so 23 more minutes, guys. We're going to hear a press conference from Mayor Fry.
Speak as well. Right now, what I want to do is pop up the audio once again so we can listen in to this raw feed coming into our newsroom.
Once again, viewer discretion is advised, folks. As we have a winter storm, heavy snow and ice, Deepest prayers for people be safe. Once again, we've had another involved shooting with ICE agents. A man has lost his life. Don't know the age. Don't know. All we know, he was armed. We will discuss after the press conference on everybody's thoughts on here. It might be time for President Trump to bring in National Guards. Otherwise, we're going to have more chaos. Now they're yelling out Shane. Good.
Shame! 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 Shame!
And I'm sure by the next couple days, you're going to hear the next individual's name,
All right,
whoever
we are
that might
now
be.
Getting a statement coming in.
Oh, a statement.
Border Patrol
We got a statement.
That is the NBPC. They posted on social media just moments ago saying, quote, Border Patrol agents are trained extremely well to protect themselves, their fellow agents, and innocent third parties. When a supposed, quote, peaceful protester brings a weapon such as a loaded handgun and brandishes it, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. We have pleaded with and warned the media and the politicians that their irresponsible, hate-filled, and false rhetoric is going to get people unnecessarily hurt or worse, killed, when they portray our agents and officers as the aggressors. They have encouraged these reckless confrontations and attacks on our agents and officers who are performing their lawful duties and enforcing the laws that Congress has put on the books. Fake and dishonest media and the shameless politicians should be held accountable for willfully misleading the public and enticing these protesters and agitators. We have full confidence that when more facts are revealed, our agents and officers will be shown to have utilized justifiable force in eliminating the threat, end quote. Again, that is a statement just coming in here from the Border Patrol Union. That is the NBPC. Right now, the clashes do continue between the protesters and federal law enforcement. Let's lift up the audio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Interfering with ICE agents.
Hey, what's your name? Your guys' names and badge numbers.
So this is an arrest. This is not the man who was shot by federal agents, I believe. So what have you seen here, guys, is KMSP. This is Fox affiliate. They're showing different footage. We're in chaos, folks. This is chaos on this Saturday morning. Major winter storm of ice and snow. However, moments ago, maybe about less than an hour ago, a federal agent involving a man who was armed and dangerous was shot and deceased and killed. And so now we've had Renee Good and this man. I wish we knew more. We will know more within the next 20 minutes from Mayor Fry. Mayor Fry has publicly come out and spoke that he wants ICE F the hell out. And Governor Tim Walz has made it very clear we are with war with government. So he wants a civil war. And my thoughts are, just my opinion, it's a distraction because I'm telling you, my sources are saying that Tim Walz is coming in very closely on maybe getting arrested for allegedly involving fraud. Sources are telling me now it's getting worse and worse. So he has called President Trump, Tim Walz, to tell Trump, please remove ICE. And, I'm sure Trump must have said, as we're seeing arrest here, we are going to bring in. I think the simple solution to this, guys, is to have the Insurrection Act. Yes or no in the chat? I think if you do an Insurrection Act and say, hey, we'll have control, because there's going to be more and more people getting hurt, leading to their deaths. I told you this, guys. If you haven't subscribed, my name is Sal. Subscribe now, like and subscribe. with all notifications to keep you up to date on this ongoing situation involving ICE agents, illegal aliens. They have a tough job out there. We don't know the full details, so we can't really comment. All I do know is he was armed and dangerous. Once again, the shooting I heard that happened in New York was a shooting, but was not involved in a ICE. It was something totally different, and that person...
Fucking goddamn it.
They finally got this guy. Now, real quickly, guys, as we watch him being detained and arrested, I just want to say this to the new subscribers coming in. We got a lot going on. A lot. William Kelly was arrested, and 2 women from the Antifa Black Lives Matter were arrested. And I'm hearing from my sources they are saying Don Lemon was the instigator. So they're ratting. They're starting to rat. You know how the mob used to rat certain mafia guys? Well, they're starting to rat, and they're saying that Don Lemon, CNN, who's been fired several years ago, independent journalist, they want him held responsible, that he was the main agitator. And I've said that Don Lemon is getting closer and closer because the judge is married to the prosecutor. Is the only reason he hasn't been arrested. And here we are back live.
And of course, as you can see right there, arrests appear to be made. Those people might just be detained. But as of right now, that is an arrest or detainment taking place as we see those clashes.
Yeah, they're getting arrested, not detained. This is, they're being arrested.
Those protesters or demonstrators. What I want to do is pop that audio back up. Of course, media members being moved away. But a reminder here, coming up in just about 15 minutes, we expect we will get an update from Ryan O'Hara, the police
This is getting
chief,
worse.
over in Minneapolis, as well as Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. We'll bring that to you live here as we get it.
They're shoving the cameraman away, which they should, because for their safety and ICE agent safety as well, right? I'm trying to get the best feeds. I think this is going to be the best feed right now. Once again, viewer discretion advised, as you're going to hear some very bad language from time to time in Minneapolis. There's been a couple people detained, arrested. One person lost their life. This is now live. This is not recorded or anything like that from Renee Good. Unfortunately, we have another involved shooting. What the hell is this? What the hell? What is this? Chaos. It looks like they're going to do a... It looks like they're going to put trash cans and kind of like...
Unclear what's happening now, but it looks like they are building maybe a barrier.
Yeah.
The protesters there, they are dragging over what appears to be trash cans, trash bins there.
Right.
And setting up what looks to be a line or barrier. This is an active scene taking place over in Minneapolis right now, where officials confirmed to Fox 9 Minneapolis.
Unbelievable.
As well as the, newspaper there over in Minnesota.
Are these people getting paid? Yes or no in the chat? Do you think these people are getting paid? I mean, look, they're bringing trash cans.
It's unclear who that person is. We just know from Bill Malugin that according to the Department of Homeland Security, this person was armed and they were shot. Now, we were also told by Bill that person was down and being treated by medics. However, it appears now that there is confirmation here that there has been a fatal shooting, that person has died as a result. Now, we're watching this all live coming in. Do apologize for the shaky camera there. But
$200 a day, huh? Maybe.
As we get that.
So they're putting trash cans there to make their... Sorry for the language. Vulgar language.
Fuck you! Power! Fuck you! Power!
It's getting heated up in the 0 degrees temperature, folks. It's getting heated up. The rioters, protesters, whatever you want to call them, agitators against the federal ICE agents, as I'm sure Trump is going to bring in the insurrection, sign the Insurrection Act right now. He has no choice. President Trump needs to sign it. He's spoken to...
So people don't come through here with cars.
I got another feed here, guys.
Right now.
Here's another feed. Everybody, please be safe in the snow. Oh. What the hell was that? Oh, folks. We are now at war. It really came to this, huh? We're at war. Sorry, but until... And these freezing temperatures. This is another part of Minneapolis, folks. If you're just coming in, there's been a federal agent involved shooting. He has lost his life. He was armed and dangerous. I cannot tell you more. Mayor Fry will be having a press conference in chief of police. Holy shit! They're destroying. I guess the only good thing is...
All right, right now I do want to bring you out to some of these live images as, of course, tear gas has been deployed. We know that there are the confrontations once again taking place between protesters and federal law enforcement. This has been going on for several hours now, and the Associated Press just confirming via a hospital record, they say, that a 51-year-old man who was shot Saturday by federal
has lost his life.
Officers in Minneapolis died from his injuries.
51-year-old man.
Saying this is a 51-year-old man.
We don't know if he's a legal immigrant.
The Trump administration's immigration crackdown, according to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The details of the shooting not immediately released. We do know, of course, that video has started circulating on social media. We are working to independently confirm that that video is real and also get permission from the sources there to actually use it. The Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin telling the Associated Press in text that the person had a firearm with 2 magazines and the situation was, quote, evolving. The shooting happened, of course, amid the widespread daily protests that are happening over in the Minneapolis area following the January 7th shooting death of Renee Good, who was killed when an immigration and customs enforcement officer fired into her vehicle. And, of course, the Department of Homeland Security has maintained that the officer's life was in danger and that Renee Good was using the vehicle as a weapon to try to hit the officer. So again, they are saying that that shooting was justified. There have been those daily protests that are taking place every day in Minneapolis. Now, this is just a mile away from where Good was shot. That is where today's shooting did happen. Waltz did say in a social media post that he had been in contact with the White House after the shooting. He urged President Trump to end what the Department of Homeland Security called its, quote, largest ever immigration enforcement operation, saying on social media, quote, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota now. Important to note here that we are still awaiting this news conference that is set to begin in just about 10 minutes here with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. Now, we do know that the Star Tribune there over in Minneapolis was the first station, or I should say outlet, to report that Brian O'Hara confirmed this person had died as a result of their injuries. We also have this live look right now that is just coming in.
All right, guys, we have a press conference that they're all set up. It should be on about 5 minutes or less. If you're just coming in, my name is Sal. Welcome in. We have cold freezing temperatures out through the nation. Our deepest prayers. About an hour ago, a little less than an hour ago, there was a federal agent involved shooting with a man, 51-year-old, who is now pronounced deceased. Don't know if he was an illegal alien immigrant, but we do know that a man has lost their life. What we could tell you is this. Hold on one second. I'm going to go back and we'll talk in a second. We got more footage here coming out. So that you could see, it looks like the National Guards, it looks like President Trump has brought in 3,000 National Guards to Minneapolis. I'll just put the camera down a little bit and you guys can read here. A 51-year-old man, fatality, shot by Border Patrol. Now, you heard, if the press conference comes on, guys, I will stop talking, of course. What I think, what we know is, folks, is bear with me. A lot going on here. This happened about a mile or so where Renee Good was pronounced dead from the involving in the shooting, and of course that federal agent. They have now come to a conclusion it was self-defense there, and but what I will tell you is what's going to happen here is now with this man losing his life. These rioters, these agitators, these protesters, whatever you want to call them, as this world has lost their minds. And we got to get a grip together, folks. We cannot live like this and continue having this. What's going to happen, they're going to start yelling out his name, and it's just going to escalate and feed like a disease, you know, like cancer. And it's going to start happening in many other states. I don't believe that President Trump is going to lift it. I don't think he's going to remove the ICE agents because there's been so many arrests so far. I'm trying to bring up a number here, but I believe there's been 100,000 illegal aliens. I want everybody to listen if you could and be free to interact with each other. There's been 100,000 illegal aliens in 1 year, and they arrested 10,000 just in Minnesota. So it's working, and 10% have left on their own. Unfortunately, you're going to have these, in my opinion, paid agitators and protesters, and unfortunately, you know, well, if they're armed and dangerous and threaten these guys' lives or other citizens here that are protesting, they will have to shoot and take them down. And, you know, what do? You have to protect. So Governor Tim Walz has made it clear we are at war with government. Those words, war with government, is a civil war. You guys can say what you want. So, like, here's some more people here. Now, these people here, you know, they're all heated up, and they're getting closer and closer. And once you touch or threaten these ICE agents that are Democrats, Republicans, black, white, African American women, gay, they're going to do their job and protect themselves and fellow agents. So I say that Trump needs to bring in, sign the Insurrection Act. Insurrection Act will take full control of the Minneapolis streets as we're waiting for the press conference of Mayor Fry. I think you pronounce it Fry. And I don't want to see anybody else, you know, we want to see these people leave. Now, other reports are telling me that William Kelly, who was one of the men arrested in the involved shooting when he went into the church, which is a federal crime, and two of the Black Lives Matter women were arrested and charged. They are saying now that Don Lemon was one of the agitators as well. Now, Don Lemon, as you all know, worked on CNN, lost his job. He was an independent journalist who's been found right now. His status is that he's been not detained or arrested. And the reports I'm hearing is because of a judge who is married to a prosecutor who knows Don Lemon very closely. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that, as for me, this world is upside down. But in my opinion, we have a leadership that is taking control. And I know CNN's headlines, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on here. And guess what? That's fine. But here's what you have. You have CNN are going to show. I can tell you what their headlines are today. Are you ready? They're going to say shooting number 2. They're going to say dictator needs to go. They're going to say ICE murder. They're going to use those kind of words, and it's simply not true. The information that is involving in this case is a 51-year-old man, as you can see here, was killed by a border patrol shooting that was armed and dangerous. Now, we are moments away from a press conference. That's not shootings, that's just tear gas, but trying to get these agitators away, but they're moving in. Whoa. Whoa. They're moving in again. Stay tuned, folks. You know, there might be more shooting. You know, they've gotten the okay to protect. So we might have it's a shame it's come to this. The hell was that? Did a guy, I think one of the agents hit a pole or something. Doink! It said doink or something. Like he hit something. Yeah, it seems like, oh no. Yeah, it seems like a federal agent couldn't see and ran into a pole. Doink. Hope they're okay. Chaos.
I have done nothing at all. I have done nothing at all. My name is Matthew James. I'm a Allen.
He says he's done nothing at all, that gentleman. Another one of he'll be arrested.
If you kill me on the street.
This is not the person who lost her life. This is a live.
That's what you want? You want to kill me? You want to kill me on the street? You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is this now? Folks, welcome in. I mean, this is chaos. This is complete. Looks like they have more people down. Looks like a lady's screaming. I don't know. She's... What the hell? She's having a panic attack? Looks like she's having some kind of a panic attack, maybe. Or tear gas in her eye. Looks like some kind of a panic attack there. She'll probably be okay. Oh, that's her husband, maybe. Oh, that was her husband. I'm sorry. So that's her husband who's...
Inside. What's your husband's name? Matthew James Obadiah Allen.
That's her husband. You seen her? That was her husband.
Matthew James Obadiah Allen.
Matthew James. Detained. Probably be arrested. So we see her emotions as her husband was being detained and arrested probably because they're interfering. Folks, let me just bring everybody up to what's going on here. These are federal streets. You guys understand? These are federal streets. Federal streets. So see how they're getting close with the cameras? As Tim Wall says it's okay. He'll be arrested too. Look.
In the background, on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, the podium is set up. There is a microphone there as we expect to hear from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. They're expected to make remarks here in a matter of moments. They were to start just about 2 minutes ago, so we should be hearing from them in just a second, and we are going to make sure to bring you those remarks here as they get underway. We also know about 1 p.m. Eastern time, so in just about 28 minutes.
While he's talking, guys, we're going to be listening to the press conference from Mayor Fry. If you guys haven't already, if you're enjoying these live streams, I would ask for a big favor. If you haven't already, can you please hit the like button as it helps our channel out here as we're awaiting for Mayor Fry to come out. There's been a 51-year-old man who has lost his life, and many more are involving. They're getting closer. So you know what's happening, folks? See how they have their phones and cameras here? Tim Walz, the governor, about a week ago, this has been going on for about a month now, right? Tim Walz has made it clear, that's okay. I want you to do this. So this is a governor who should be held responsible. So that's the woman here that they just detained her husband. She's crying. Well, you know, maybe you should use more judgment, right? Now, she's not crying. It wasn't her husband who was shot, but he's been detained. He says, you got to use better judgment, folks. You cannot be on federal property. They're there to take the bad guys that are murderers, rapists, mentally, they're here. There's been 100,000 aliens, and there's been 10,000 arrests in Minneapolis. They're there to do their job. And if you interfere, you probably get arrested, and you might get shot, and unfortunately, you might lose your life over bad judgment.
But as you can see, there is a large group of protesters. They have been holding up the different trash cans that are in that area, kind of using them to create what appears to be...
Yeah, they're using the trash cans to kind of mark their spot in their territory, you know?
A Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis this morning, and the Department of Homeland Security saying that the man was armed with a gun. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is now come and gone. We are at 12:34. We expect that we're going to get a news conference with Mayor Jacob.
And we will cover that news conference, I promise you.
The Minneapolis Police Chief, that is Brian O'Hara. Again, it looks like things are kind of set up and ready to go, so we should be getting that shortly. We're going to bring you those remarks as well as the live feed of Greg Bavino when he does take the podium. For now, though, we want to take you back out to that raw sound out there live.
All right, I'll turn the volume back up, guys. Sorry, I was just... For that person who said about banana bread, if you can send me some banana bread my way, I appreciate it. That sounds really good. Banana bread. Banana bread. As you're watching the protesters kind of come closer to federal agents. Once again, viewer discretion advised. We are waiting for Mayor Fry remarks on today's involved shooting that led to the death of a 51-year-old man. As many others we've seen live now for an hour have been arrested and detained. Unlawful assembly declared in Minneapolis protests as it's unraveling here, folks. There's been more and more arrests. And I can tell you this. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read reports that are coming in. So here's what I'm hearing. All right,
Again, if you
hold
are
on.
joining us here, it is now 12:36 on the East Coast and 9:36 on the West Coast. We are bringing you these live feeds that are coming into the newsroom here out of Minneapolis. And we want to remind you, as of right now, the information that we have as we await this news conference with Mayor Jacob Fry is that the Associated Press saying a 51-year-old man has been shot and killed by Border Patrol agents. And right now, tear gas being deployed as unlawful assembly has been declared.
All right, I just want to turn the camera around real quick. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's my pleasure. Fortunately, these circumstances here, we are moments away from Mayor Fry's remarks and the Chief of Police. We bring everybody up to date. This is live. This is not the Renee Good. This is a 51-year-old man who was armed and dangerous in Minneapolis in freezing temperatures. Our deepest prayers for anybody out there. Let us know where you're coming in from. Very freezing cold temperatures, ice and snow, 45 states. Now, about an hour ago or so, a man who was armed and dangerous apparently went after a federal ICE agent, was shot and gunned down. They tried to do CPR. He lost his life. Once again, early preliminary bad judgments, as a lot of people on here would say. As I'm watching more arrests, we're going to go back to that in a second, I promise. People with their phones in their cameras in the federal agent's face. I'm not saying that's what happened with the previous, he had a gun, weapon, excuse me, and for YouTube. Now listen, Governor Tim Walz should be held 100%. Forget the fraud for a second. Put the fraud aside. We're going to be talking about that later on, so make sure you have all notifications, because I have a big broadcast on that. For him to come out days ago, a week ago, and say, it's okay. I encourage you to take your phone and put it in your agent's face and tell them to leave. When you have a leadership, a governor, I don't care if he's Republican, Democrat, Independent, say those words, you're going to have more of these agitators, particularly on the weekend, where a lot of them are off. That, for me, a lot of them are paid protesters. Now, 2 women who are involved, Black Lives Matter, were arrested, along with that William Kelly piece of shit. He was also arrested. They are becoming rats and saying that Don Lemon was the main instigator in that church. A lot is happening, folks. And, you know, when you say war with government, Tim Walz says war with government, that is saying, I want a civil war. We want to win over our party. He doesn't care about this man who lost his life, or Renee Good. May she rest in peace. So this is all live. Bring everybody up to date. I wish I had more. We're going to hear more, exactly the details, I'm sure, in this involved shooting with ICE agents. They need to do their job. One more time, thank you, moderators, for being here. Everybody from Crystal to Janine and Mike. We appreciate and like new subscribers. I'll turn the camera back around and we can further listen in. Thank you for all the likes to make these lives possible.
Please tell me you're getting all of this, man.
Thank you, all members that are on here. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning, welcome in. This is live in Minneapolis, and unfortunately, yes, another shooting. No, you're not dreaming. No, this is not retape of Renee Good. No, not at all. This is live footage. We've been on air for about exactly an hour now. We're waiting for a press conference. President Trump and Tim Walz have spoken briefly on the telephone. Don't know what words were exchanged. I'm only guessing. But I'm sure Tim Walz is saying, please remove ICE agents. And I'm sure Trump is saying, we're bringing more in. So I wish I had more, but we will get more in a couple minutes. I was trying to get a police scanner, guys, in, but I think it'll just be too much to listen to the police scanner and what's happening right now. But If you want me to get the police scanner hooked up, we can work on that and after the press conference. Looks like we froze up for a second. Once again, viewer discretion advised for the, some of the language. Once again, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you coming
If
in.
you are just joining us, we are going back and forth between many of the different feeds. These are raw feeds that are coming into our newsroom. We have Fox 9 Minneapolis, Fox News, as well as the Associated Press. Again, this is all developing here at this hour. What we know from the Associated Press is that a 51-year-old man was fatally shot by a Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis this morning, and that is according to hospital records that were obtained by the Associated Press. Now, the Department of Homeland Security's Tricia McLaughlin saying that the man who was shot was armed with a gun. Again, we know that this person, according to officials, 51 years old. However, we have not heard additional information about who that person was, no other identifying details. On the bottom right-hand side of your screen, Mayor Fry with Minneapolis expected to speak here really in a matter of moments. This was slated for about 15 minutes ago. However, we also know that Greg Bavino, the commander with Border Patrol, should be addressing all of this as well around at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's when he was slated to do a live Zoom interview with us. However, it appears that is not happening as scheduled now, as this other news conference will be taking place. We're going to bring all of this to you live right here and raw on Live Now from Fox as we get
it. So in case you're wondering what they're doing here, for those who are just coming on, they're using these trash cans and wood. Uh-oh. Like a barricade there. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Crazy. Pretty much for the last hour, federal agents have been using it, tear gas, to try to get these people away. Reports I just heard, I cannot confirm this, folks. I'm going to repeat, I can't confirm this. What I can confirm is one person has died. What I'm hearing now is Trump has got a pen ready to go, a pen to sign a real close to sign the Insurrection Act that was implemented in 1807. And what that will mean is they'll bring in their National Guards to the state of Minneapolis or any state that's out of control with rioters, protesters, agitators, all three above, whatever you want to call them. Excuse me. I can't confirm it, but we should know something within the next hour or less. People are crying. People are upset. People are confused. What I'm not confused about is this. It's federal. If you folks, for anybody out there that lives in this area or are thinking about being involved in this, I would say this. Please use great judgment. Stay home in your heated home. And order pizza. Watch it on TV. Don't get involved. Whatever your view is on this, stay out of it. You'll be arrested, possibly hurt, or much worse. Use better judgment, folks. There's been, as you can hear him say, power to the people. There's been, folks, 100,000 illegal aliens, okay, in Minneapolis. They have arrested, are you ready for this? They have arrested 10,000. And 10%, folks, have left the city, state of Minneapolis. Uh-oh. So it's working. It's working. It's working. Once again, we're moments away from the governor, mayor, excuse me. Thank you for the donations on here today. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Tear gas to try to get these people away from that as close so it doesn't lead to anybody losing their lives. They're actually helping these people, you know, if you think about it. They don't get arrested. They don't get hurt. Pretty much clean the area out. Look at that, just like that. Clean that area out.
What I want to do here, as we are expecting these remarks momentarily from Mayor Jacob Fry, Homeland Security putting out the photo of the gun there that we showed you a bit earlier, but this is what they say that man was armed with. You can see it there on the left-hand side of your screen. Now, a pretty lengthy statement, as they say at 9:05 a.m. Central, a DHS law enforcement officer, several of them were conducting a targeted...
Just for YouTube, folks, thank you so much for being here. That is the weapon. That is the weapon we just seen. That's not being used in the photo. It's not being used in the photo. There's a lot of AI stuff out there. My name is Sal. I have a YouTube channel. It was a weapon that the suspect had and was shot and unalive now. But that was the weapon he had.
Officers and agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had...
We are moments away, guys. I'm going to turn the camera around. See, that was the, looks like that was the gun that was involved. So it wasn't... Folks, if you watch a news, there's going to be news outlets out there. You're going to hear from like other reports that are going to say, breaking news, another shooting. And they're right. They're going to say it was murder. They're going to say it was this, that, when I buy ICE agent. But they don't show you what they're showing you here. This is how news is supposed to handle it. It was a weapon, a gun. The person was armed. He was dangerous. He was 51 years old. May he rest in peace. Use bad judgment. We don't know all the details. We will know more details momentarily within the next few minutes. We're waiting on a press conference.
Slated to start about 20 minutes ago, so it appears
I'm hearing reports that Trump is getting very close on signing the insurrection. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is Mayor Fry.
I'm going to turn it over to the chief to provide an update and some of the details based on the limited amount of information that we have thus far this morning, and then I will provide some comments myself. Chief?
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N-O''Hara. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. At approximately 9:03 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis Police received a report of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen. We have not been told any official reports of what has led up to the shooting, but we have seen the video that is circulating on social media. Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there is a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We have requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our cities. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again. To make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be. So, to President Trump,
Here we go.
this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis,
Here we go.
put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents. Director Sayre.
My name is Rachel Sayre, and I am the Director of the Emergency Management Department for the City of Minneapolis. I took this job to keep us safe because I live here, and this is my community. We are doing everything we can to mitigate the impacts of this terrible situation. The city's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated, as it has throughout the surge in federal agents over the last few weeks. We are tracking impacts and coordinating the city's response to this situation, which is having profound repercussions in our community. I can't underscore enough how much Operation Metro Surge is impacting our city. Families with loved ones detained and those who are afraid to be in public lest they become targets need help accessing the most basic necessities like food, housing, and rides to school. Businesses are shuttering and our local economy is severely impacted, which means families are suffering, just as we were rounding a corner in our recovery. Many of our Minneapolis residents, my neighbors, my friends, my community members, are ceasing participation in public life, afraid to even go to the doctor. In response, the city enterprise continues to utilize our entire emergency apparatus. That means staff across departments, often around the clock, are putting their regular jobs on hold in order to respond to the impacts of Metro Surge. I want everyone to know there are numerous resources available to community members right now. We have mental health help available. We have food assistance, housing and rental assistance, legal help. We are sharing information about what to do if you are exposed to tear gas, pepper spray, or other chemical agents, and the state AGs and ACLU are collecting reports of rights violations. You can access these resources on the city's virtual resource center at minneapolismn.gov/ICE. Please share this information with your neighbors. We have help and we want you to be able to access that. My background is in international humanitarian response in conflict zones in Yemen, Haiti, Syria, Iraq, and Ukraine. What I've seen here is what I've seen there. A powerful entity violently and intentionally terrorizing people, making them afraid to go outside so they can't earn a living, so that kids are forced out of school. This has a lasting generational impact. People can't plan a single day of their lives because they don't know who is around the corner and if their family member or neighbor is about to.
All right, folks. So, you know,
in these times, you see both the best and the worst.
if you're just coming in, 37-year-old man, as they report 51, I want to apologize on their behalf on what we're getting reported on. Was fatally shot by a border control who had a gun that we seen a little while ago.
We'll open it to questions.
Yeah, we're going to hear some questions from the reporters.
I'll turn it to the chief to answer.
So the question was, there is a incredibly volatile scene in South Minneapolis right now, and the extent of communication with law enforcement agencies. We have established a command post that is led by Minneapolis Police, and there are representatives from all of the regional, local, county, and state organizations. We have had communication with Homeland Security, but they have not been able to provide us
What's going on here?
Specific details around the incident itself.
All right.
We are responsible for ensuring the safety of people on the streets of our city, and we are.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this guy out right here. He should put his badge and put it in the desk. And this mayor here should resign. Because for the words, I guess he looks really young. I don't know, folks. But for him to say, I encourage you to stand up. Do you guys hear the words? This mayor here, I encourage you to stand up. Well, for me, you are saying that you want a civil war. And the right words for him, he doesn't have to stand up and say, support Donald Trump. No, we're not asking for that. The people, he needs to be a leader. Leaders like Donald Trump, sorry, leadership will stand up and say, folks, you don't have to agree. Now, he did say that. We're asking you to go home. Go home. Let us work with the government officials and the president and a better solution. And then he should step down. When I mean say step down from the podium, and maybe even step down. I don't understand with our younger generation, and this man looks young, and he is saying he's supposed to put his politics aside. You can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican, but you need to step in. You need to protect these people. These people, a lot of them are young, are brainwashed, and some of them are paid. We need to get these people off the streets of Minneapolis. Now I'm going to give you a good example. I don't support Chicago. That governor's an idiot. But I will say, at least he came on and said, we will back up and have federal agents. Minneapolis has lost their minds, folks. Minneapolis has lost their mind. They've had, I don't know what got into their heads. It's awful. And you're going to turn it around like our moderator Janine said earlier, and a lot of you guys on here, and I apologize, it was a 37-year-old man. You're on federal streets. These are federal streets. And it's cold, very cold there, by the way. Speaking of cold, there's ice and snow. May everybody be safe in those areas. Hopefully everybody has got enough food and water. But those words that came out of his mouth, I'm not surprised. I knew what he was going to say. Looks like the camera is frozen there.
37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets, and we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
Let me keep my thoughts to myself here.
The question was, has MPD been cut out of the investigation, and has the BCA been cut out? As I stated, I immediately requested the BCA to respond. It's my understanding they are on the scene. I have not heard anything otherwise. There was initially some information was relayed to me over the radio that our officers were told that they were up.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't bite my tongue. Did you hear what he said? That the person who lost their life, may they rest in peace and the family has closure. That he had a concealed weapon. Okay. That he had only tickets. You hear the words? Folks, did you hear the words that this man said? He only had tickets. We all missing the picture. He was here. Maybe not that exact spot. He was on federal property. He was threatening. He was threatening an ICE agent. This ICE agent has a wife, maybe a partner, maybe whoever, a family who is protecting his life and his fellow agents along with these people that are also protesting or rioting. Their job is to take illegals out of Minneapolis and they also got to play keeping everything peace. Where are the local police department? This piece of shit right here. This piece of shit right here, this chief of police, is encouraging this. Take your badge, there's his badge, put it in a desk drawer, and maybe you need another job. Maybe you need to work at McDonald's or somewhere. No disrespect to McDonald's. Seriously, he let his political interfere, and that we don't do. He looks very young, and is mayor. Everybody take a picture of these two scazziata in Italian. Ugly, confused. I don't mean ugly as appearance, just and everything above. I mean, this is nuts. Won't he come on and say, We had a suspect. ICE was there to do their job. Unfortunately, somebody has made a bad decision and lost their life. That's what we should be hearing. That's what we should be hearing from the police. Chief of police, I believe, is the chief of police. I'm upset. You guys all should be upset. We all should be upset what's going on.
Were not needed or could leave, and I gave a direct order to ensure that Minneapolis police maintain the scene as well as other state and local law. So the question was is there multiple officers involved in the shooting? That is the preliminary information. That is our understanding, that it was more than one law enforcement officer involved in the discharge. And again, there is public video that shows several law enforcement officers in a scuffle.
I don't need to see the video. I don't need it. I trust the ICE agents. We know they got in their face, they attacked and said some things to protect.
So the question was, the initial reports said the victim was 51. The information that I have is we sent Minneapolis police officers to the hospital with the individual who was shot, and they have since identified that person.
37-year-old.
I do, and I'm not releasing it.
Are you able to talk? Have you been able to talk with ICE and Border Patrol officials to ask them to please be in on this, or have you talked to them, or have you been rejected?
The question was, have we talked with federal law enforcement to be in on this? We have had conversations with Homeland Security Investigations this morning. We are told they do not have any information to share at this time, but we will attempt to maintain those communications going forward.
Do you believe that they have no information?
The court's gonna talk to you. We're gonna find out who you are. We're gonna find out who you are. Oh, the court's gonna talk to you too. We're gonna find out who you are.
All right, do you hear what they're saying? We'll find out who you are. Can you guys hear that? We'll find out who you are. Imagine being an ICE agent and having somebody approach you with a weapon of some kind, a gun. Like this guy. The 5-year-old little boy father was arrested, illegal, huge charges. They took the little boy, gave him some ice cream, granola bar, got him in a facility, did not separate him while they arrested him. Later on, brought the mother in. The mother didn't even care about the son. She cared about her husband. What she should have done was, been there for her son. You're not going to hear that. These people don't hear that. Anyhow, they didn't go after a little 5-year-old, is what I'm trying to say.
Again, for those tuning in right now, viewer discretion is advised. You can hear very vulgar language being shouted at those Border Patrol and other federal agents that are working in Minneapolis. Right now, this is over at the shooting scene itself. And I want to remind you that these protests are underway. But as you heard from the police chief of Minneapolis, unlawful assembly has been declared there. So at this point, folks are being told to leave the area. You can see the tape is up blocking this off. The investigation underway.
That's the area where it happened, right around here.
A 37-year-old man was fatally shot by a Border Patrol agent, and we are awaiting remarks from...
Once again, a 37-year-old man, not a 51. It looks like it was a 37-year-old. So I apologize, but I was only giving you what I seen as we're watching the live stream. 37-year-old.
They were awaiting the end of the mayor's news conference and the police chief news conference before they made their remarks. Either way, the second that we see them walk up, we're going to bring that to you in full. That is what we do here on Live Now from Fox. For now, I'm going to lift the audio back up, but a reminder that viewer discretion is advised.
Guys, I'm going to go get some coffee. I put this on the best I can. I will be back in about 3 minutes. I got to get a little coffee and something to eat as I'm just getting going. It means a whole lot to me, guys, if you can hit the like button and support this channel. Thank you so much. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Got to get a little something in my stomach and some coffee here. I don't know if you guys, is that okay there for a couple minutes? I will do the best I can. I will be back. Once again, this live, guys, pretty much developing about an hour and a half ago. Police chief came on, a 37-year-old man was fatally shot by a Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis. I'm Sal, your host. We've been on for about an hour and a half. We heard the press conference from Mayor Frye. We heard the chief of police as an ongoing situation. I've heard reflecting stories. I want to hear from President Trump, who's probably going to come out and discuss. I'm hearing there's a possibility that he'll go ahead and sign the Insurrection Act and take charge of Minnesota. So we can have, federal agents do their job. Trump is in Iowa. Thanks, Janine, for letting us know and myself know. Appreciate that. So we've had now two shootings that leading to their deaths. Renee Good and then this man here, 37-year-old. And I think both of them could have been preventable if they just used better judgment and protest at a park or at least stayed on the sidewalks. But, you know, we've discussed both of them. And I will just say this. I'm going to say this the last time on this live stream. These federal agents are all different colors, nationalities, religion, Republicans and Democrats. They've signed up to protect and take control of illegal aliens that have flew in, have come in with open borders with the Biden administration. There's been 100,000 illegal aliens. There's been 10,000 arrests sent back to Venezuela, El Salvador, Mexico, China, and there's been 10% have left on their own. So they are there to fight and do that. Now, once again, make sure you have all notifications checked because the heat is coming on Tim Walz on the fraud. As we see this guy with his hands up. I guess they're having their hands up to, I would say, you know, hey, oh, it looks like they have given up to turn it around and hope that they detain him or something like that. It's just completely insane. Once again, a man was shot in the arm with a gun. Agent fired defensive shots. It led to his death.
After one of our neighbors was killed! We pay your salary! We pay you guys! You gassed us! You murdered us! You inflict pain and death on our beautiful city! That is cowardice at the lowest human level, maggot!
Hands up. They've given up.
If you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, I do want to remind you that we are awaiting remarks coming in from Border Patrol and ICE. We expect to hear from Commander Greg Bovino as well as the ICE officials. You can see the podium is set up on the bottom right.
Yeah, you guys want to listen to this? This is moments away. We're going to hear from Border Patrol and their remarks. Should we listen into that?
The news conference.
We'll stay live. You guys want to stay live? We'll listen to that in a couple minutes.
12 p.m. Eastern time. He was also set to speak with us around 1 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, that is not going to happen as all of this has started to develop here. We're keeping an eye on all of the different live images coming in as Police Chief Brian O'Hara in Minneapolis confirming this person who was shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent, I should say, was a 37-year-old man. Now, he does say...
Okay, so yeah, the chief of police said he was a 37-year-old man who had only traffic tickets. Pretty much,
the Department of Homeland Security saying...
In other words, it shouldn't happen, right? That's what he wants to say. He's been known he's a Democrat, radical, leftist. We are moments away. If you want to continue with this live stream, we can continue. One, yes, you want to continue. Two, we can go off. We're going to hear, if you want to hear the Border Patrol remarks, I like to hear, maybe we'll hear it, depending on how long. And we'll hear their side. I would like to hear their side of it. Isn't it crazy that we have ones? Okay, isn't it crazy that we have... Isn't it crazy? Think about this. That we got to hear both sides. Aren't we all in one when it comes to law and order? What happened to all in one? I mean, shouldn't this be not a people against the people? Isn't this common sense? Yes or no? Isn't it supposed to be common sense that, I talk to Democrat friends. They don't like Trump. But you know what they say? We don't have to like Trump. This is common sense. They agree with me. Not because they like me. They don't give a shit about me. It's common sense. We got to keep these people from all over the country here. Folks, listen to me. We got our problems here homegrown. Right? Homegrown mental problem. Don't worry about this. And we're supposed to be all in one. This federal agent who took this shot and this man who lost his life, who was 37 years old, who I apologize, I said 51. I'm only reading what I see with you guys. Great. We've been covering this for an hour and 39 minutes. Was armed and dangerous. Even though he had rights of a gun, he exposed it. And we're going to hear more. We don't know. I'm sure he threatened. And these people are encouraged by Mayor Fry and Governor Tim Walz to approach the federal ICE agents and to cause chaos, to cause interruption and interfere for what they need to do. ICE agents are there to do that, and also they're there to protect other protesters. I haven't heard anybody talk about that. They're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to protect the other ICE agents, and they're trying to protect the people. Now, I think Trump, excuse me, I think Trump needs to go ahead and bring in National Guard. He needs to bring him in. We need to sign this Insurrection Act. He needs to take control. So we're moments away from Border Patrol. We'll stay online. I promise you guys, I'll try to do the best I can. And I do have a great podcast I was planning on doing this evening. We'll see how that goes, but I'm probably going to keep all eyes on this situation here, because I have a feeling, I hope I'm wrong, this will escalate each hour into the later evening hours. And it's freezing in Minnesota. Freezing. All right, what we got here? Hold on. Are we up? Not yet. I'll turn the camera as soon as we have them on the panel. And, you know, LGBT, how are you? Good to see everybody here today, all my loyal subscribers. I'll take some comments, and then we're gonna listen into the Border Patrol and ICE remarks. Freezing temperatures, ice and snow wherever you live, southeast, northeast, Boston. Monday is going to get, I mean, they're talking like dangerous, life-threatening weather. But these people are going to find a way to try to stay warm and to continue. Now you're going to be hearing this individual's name, who we don't know yet. I'm sure they're going to announce his name, and you'll hear the two names, Renee Good and whoever, and they're going to be shouting that out. And more people and agitators and paid protesters, I would say 80% are paid protesters. The other 20% are just different people getting all wound up. And unfortunately, I wouldn't want my son or daughter, because a lot of these people are young, involved in this. I cannot believe I'm witness this ongoing situation. All right, I'm going to read some comments, but I'm also going to keep my eye on the right to listen into Border Control. Let's see what we have here. Hey, appreciate all the moderators for being here today and to help these unfortunate circumstances and moderate the channel. So thank you all that are on here. I'm so sad for our country. Yeah, I am very sad as well. They're just showing that if anything happens, I'll turn the camera back. But we're moments away from the ICE patrol. Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, as far as William Kelly, the man, and Black Lives Matter, the other two women who were arrested, they are now speaking out and saying that there's others involved. So they're starting to rat out. They're becoming rats, and they're going to rat, and we're going to find out who the real instigator is behind it. Some are saying Don Lemon, and that's where we're at. All right, I'll turn the camera around a little bit here. I'll put the volume back up as we are moments away from the Border Patrol remarks, but right now it's heated up again. Here we go again, and they're just shooting the tear gas to get these people away. These are not gunshots, these are tear gas. Thank you, memberships, real quickly, to those who are members like Bama. Thank you. Thank you for all your support from being a member. We do appreciate it. Nothing but tear gas, and we are waiting for Border Patrol remarks. A lot of tear gas. Thank you to bring us up to date. LGBT for Trump 24. Great information. Appreciate that comment. Thank you, Sean, for your support and putting in the American flag. Once again, we welcome in all new subscribers. We will keep everybody up to date. Sorry, guys, I had a little itch in my eye here. We'll keep everybody up to date on this. We're going to stay tuned. If it's not too much longer, on their Border Patrol remarks on what they have to say on their defense. Literally their defense. Thank you for that comment about, yeah, great comment on the protesters. If you're just coming in and asking where it is, first of all, God bless you. Hope you're doing well. It's in Minneapolis, as we had another shooting involvement with Border Control, federal agents, and a 37-year-old man who lost his life. They tried to save him with CPR, and we're waiting moments away to hear exactly. We heard what Mayor Fried said. Now we're going to hear what Border Control on their defense on exactly more information, and then you guys could discuss upon yourself. You know, for me, I already made my decision. I made my decision a long time ago that I think Trump should take control of Minneapolis, and I think let them do what they need to do the best they can for at least the immediate near future, and then Minnesota will be much better situation. It's all common sense, right? To me, it's all common sense. However, some people don't see it that way. Some of you don't see it that way. And that's fine, but something needs to be done. And I think what needs to be done is better leadership from Tim Walz and Mayor Fried. As we have 227 likes, I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Let me see here. A comment here. Police are on ICE side, but the mayor isn't. Donnell, thank you, and hope you're doing well. Yeah, unfortunately, though, the chief of police we seen a little while ago has made it clear on his political belief, which is fine. He's a Democrat. I have no problem with that. But he's the chief of police, and I'm sure there's law enforcement who want to do what's necessary to help these agents out. But when you have a chief of police who's made it clear that this is okay to do, he's backing up the mayor and the governor, unfortunately, you're going to have chaos. And you're going to lead to more people losing their lives. I hope I'm wrong, but it's just the way it's going to be. These are just different feeds here around the Minneapolis area. Some are where the shooting was at today. Some are where the Renee Good situation happened, and others are just around the Minneapolis area that they're showing for the last 2 hours. We were waiting for those who've been on here from the beginning. Hey, thank you so much, first of all. And we were waiting for the Border Patrol remarks on exactly more details on, just hear their side. I like to hear what they had to say. Trump saved America and Venezuela. Hey, welcome in, everybody. I agree with that comment. Welcome in all. Hope you're doing well, staying warm. I think all states except for Florida, maybe one or two other states. I'm in Vegas. It's very cold in Vegas. Cold, freezing temperatures everywhere. 45 states, I believe. Hopefully everybody's staying warm. it's my pleasure. It's on you know, these unfortunate circumstances to show these lives on these vertical lives. I really appreciate the moderators and everybody for being here. I promise you I'll stay on if it's not too much longer to hear what they have to say. I love to hear what the Border Patrol has their remarks. I had a podcast or broadcast I was going to show this evening.
All right, this feed right here on your screen does not have any audio with it, but I wanted to bring you this as you can see more of the clashes that are taking place. Once again, unlawful assembly declared there by the Minneapolis Police Department and other officials.
But I'm going to talk about, we're going to change it, and we're going to be talking about this, because I'm sure I'm waiting on Donald Trump later on to talk.
The area of that shooting scene. We've also seen several people who have been detained at this point, not quite clear if they're being arrested and charged or if they're just being detained and removed from this area. Now, the police chief, Brian O'Hara, saying a short time ago that they did confirm this was a 37-year-old man who was fatally shot by a Border Patrol agent, DHS saying the man shot was armed with a gun and the agent fired quote-unquote defensive shots. Again, unlawful assembly.
They were defensive shots.
Initial reports, according
to the chief of police.
From the Associated Press via hospital records showed the man who was killed was in his 50s. However, O'Hara says they have now confirmed this is a 37-year-old man and they do know his identity. However, they are not releasing it, simply saying they believe that he is an American citizen. Again, this is the second fatal shooting there by those federal officers.
So they believe he's an American citizen. I'm just going to say this.
Earlier on this month, January 7th, that is when all of
for me, as an American citizen myself, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it was an illegal or American citizen. I get what they're saying, that this time it was an American citizen versus the Venezuela who were arrested and detained the other day. If you interfere, I don't care who you are, what your political belief is. If you're threatened, you should be detained and shot, you know, on defending themselves.
Also want to remind you that we're awaiting this news conference here with officials with Border Patrol.
Yes, he has lost his life.
Who is the commander there, kind of the base.
We don't want to see anybody lose their lives. I mean,